We're in Dayton. We're mostly in the front today, but good morning, everybody. It's Saturday. I haven't really had a chance to do the intro, but this feels weird being right near the window and the entranceway is over on this side. So we're mostly just officially set up, and though I ended up reorganizing everything last night. Prices of all the cards had updated. The only thing I didn't get a chance to update was all the Gundam and other TCG stuff. So at the moment, I may see about doing that. I did update the Luffy in the 10 from what we got last weekend, and that one went up by $50. Surprisingly, I hadn't really figured out why exactly that is, but there's one soul comp for $4.25 or something like that. I forget the exact amount. So that's mostly the main update right now. No idea if we are going to see about buying stuff. There's going to be some good trades, but I don't know how being at the entranceway is going to be any different for us. But I'm hoping that we end up getting some good stuff. And there was one other thing I totally forgot, because Buddha. Most people know Buddha for all of his good trades, that we ended up snagging the Zapdos right there. That was $3. I forget where he got that from, but I think it was a Tomy exclusive. So that ended up being one of the last few things that I just got very early before the doors open. But that's mostly the update right now. I will kind of just hit record as usual when anything interesting happens. But yep, we'll see in the next clip, which will be the Dignity sale. So yep. All right, selling off the Dignity GX secret art, or well, it's a full art. I'll just call it that. But it's going away to a vendor for $25. All right, first big, big sale of the day, going away for $85. This is to a family, well, not a family member, it doesn't belong to me. Their son wanted some Pokemon. They mainly wanted Charmanders, so we're giving this one for free, and these are the other ones, and the big one is the Charmander promo from the Obsidian Flames ATV, but thanks for the deal. All right, so decent amount of singles, very mid-price. I don't know what to put them at. The Pokemon Centers, those were back in June, I think. And one of my regular vendors, they have a full stack of V-Card. A lot of these had definitely gone down, but they're good binder fillers, and with anime conventions we will be at this year, 2 of them to be exact, that these will definitely come in handy. So they just owed 20 cash on top. One big trade, well, not big trade, it was really just 2 cards. The cash deal was 20 on top, and they picked up the, Shadowless First Ed, War Turtle, the one that was empty. Actually, no, it was in the case, in that little corner where the black spot is. That they had these 2, and like I said, I just owed 20 on top, and then they did a trade for the Articuno Wizards of the Coast Black Star promo, and then it was the other IR from Black Bolt, but that wasn't an equal trade on that, so that's pretty much just the last 20 minutes. Mewtwo is going out, and they are adding 8 cash on top, and they're trading us the Flareon from Jungle, non-first ed, and then sealed Perfect Order Luxray promo from, I believe, GameStop, so thanks for that deal. So, sorry, Brandon. I know you were wanting this earlier, but you're probably going to be coming back a little bit later and see that it's missing. So there's a reason why there's 100 on top, and it's more jumbo stuff. There's some unique promo stuff that's in here, Wailord, Magikarp, few tags, and then they had that. Obviously, it's damaged, not the best condition, but for 100 cash on top, I mean, it's still a very good trade, and obviously these will definitely be good for a kid's binder, so thanks for the deal. All right, a few Dragon Ball stuff is going out. A couple of the promotion pack, Volume 1, and also that which we got back over in last month, I believe, over in Indiana, and we just owed them 50 on top. So as far as spare cash, officially out at the moment. Gentleman came in with both of these, said originally one piece, but then he had that in his bag. LP condition on it, obviously with that little spot there. Aside from that, it's got really good condition on it. Peach Momoko prints, always take those in. I gotta double check on my Tashigi that's back there. And this was around 15. This was hovering about closer to 160, but I think we just comped it at 150 and we just gave them 135 cash on top. All right, TJ's back again, and I keep forgetting to ask if he wanted to be on camera. So 150 is what I owed him. He's grabbing the Mew EX promo, and then it's a lot of like Mewtwo stuff. So, and the conditions, like best condition of the bunch, obviously it's probably that one, but it's like LP on both of those. But thanks again for the deal, TJ. So I was way off. I forgot to change that price on there. So thankfully the customer came back, they double checked it, and it was down to 70. So I appreciate their honesty, and it's going away for 70. I'm not going to get them on camera. Domon's face is very glossy at the moment, but one of my favorites because there's a Parshat that's also Gundam manga-esque, so I do love the art style for these, and it's going to somebody's collection for 70. Glare and all, it's very hard to see, but the Wizards stamp promo for Vulpix, and then the E3 stamp, Glare, get out of the way, going away for a bundle deal for a customer for 75. All right, so same person, Anthony, he came by last week and got that Hero Yui combo, and I think there was something else that he had grabbed. I forget what other card. No, it was different person. So he had grabbed 3 resource cards. It was 3 Gundam, 1 Pokemon card, and those were the main ones I sold him. He's getting these, and we did a bulk deal for 165, so I have a hard time remembering his stuff, but thanks for the deal. So, one of my regulars, I'm not going to get him on, but you remember the Bidoof Hat Man. He got some more VTuber stuff from us, and this is from the same gentleman that we got some graded cards before, so he's getting these for his binder, and we're giving him a deal for 60. We are officially out of cash. I forgot to document it while the guy was here. They had a lot more, but unfortunately I had to pass out on a good number of them, but we needed tag teams because, I mean, I only have those 2 left over. And then, of course, Pikachu from Crown Zenith always does well at the booth. So this is around 235. We basically give him 140 in cash, and then it was like 95 digital payment. So that, to me, I think is probably the best amount of pickups for the day. All right, I will not get him on camera, but this is somebody that had bought stuff for me before, and I was more flexible on all of this, but for, I think it was 560 is what I got. It's a decent amount of variety, a few things that have been stuck in the case. I know that was in there for a while. The Hoopa had changed so much, so we basically are taking the hit on it. But overall, that's the biggest sale of the day. We're officially out of cash. I didn't document this when the guy was still at the booth, but I'll kind of go over right quick. They had a couple of Fusion Strike PSA 9 and 10s. Picked up only 1 PSA 10, and I figured that this is the one that I needed for the booth because it's good filler, and yeah. With the white ball light and all, there we go, much better. The glare makes it very hard to try to get this on here, but PSA 10, I don't really see these very often. Well, they come through a lot, but I've never been able to pick one up until now, so they pretty much dropped it over at the booth, and I gave them around 400 on it, so I mean, that to me is like probably best pickup of the day, and that means we're out of cash again. I took the mic off, so it's like right in my hands, but yeah, it's pack up time all the way back in here, and unfortunately it's been cleared out. I think that there's not really much as far as like last second deals. But it was good. Trades were like phenomenal. I think I overblew my budget a lot more, so it's better like a process to kind of go through everything that I had in my case and kind of like start from scratch all over again. So that's going to be it for day 1. I will definitely see you guys in a few seconds by the next recording, but yep, thank you for joining me so far, and we'll see you back for day 2.
It's very early in the morning, but it's day 2 time, and forgot to mention about what we're doing at the end of the month, but I am working on getting stuff ready for a video game convention happening for Michigan Retro Gaming. I will get the info on that later, but I will show off a trade deal that I just did with one of my fellow vendor buds. I'm not going to get them on camera, but just one sec. For a mere $5 that they got on, we needed some ones. So they're bringing, well, they brought these out originally. I was doing some laps, and I didn't expect any video game stuff in. The only thing that's going in my PC is the Super Mario RPG for the Switch. That one I immediately picked up because I'm a fan of the Super Nintendo game. And then, of course, I already have Arceus, so that's going to be double. That has the manual. All of these have pretty much everything with them. The World Rally I already had, so I had passed on that one. And then there is a loose copy of Ultra Moon, and they are picking up the Sylveon EX. And like I said, they just added 5 on the top from there. So that's kind of an interesting update because a lot of that is going to be gone during that weekend, and I needed filler, like really good filler, and that honestly is like, for Pokemon TCG's sake, it's like the equivalent of like some high-end stuff like the Dragon Ball Raging Blast 2. That one will definitely like move out pretty quickly because there's some people who just need that for their PC, and some people just want to like play it. So it's one that doesn't come around very often, especially if it has the manual with it. It will move, and including some of the GameCube stuff. They had a Going Quackers. It didn't have the manual with it, so I unfortunately had to pass. It was like $30, which I think goes for like $35 without the manual. But like I said, it's just stuff with manuals is like hard to be able to get in nowadays. But that's really about it. Everything at the booth is organized. I've still got a little bit more sorting through for the binders, so I will have to like go through that later. But as per usual, I'll pretty much hit record whenever anything interesting happens. But today should be interesting because there's gonna probably be some new people that will be at the booth. So yeah, that's it, and I'll see you guys back in just a quick sec. All right, I won't get him on camera, but Anthony is back again, and he's picking up Pokemon stuff this time, and it is just the Ladybug from Southern Islands, Japanese version, and it's going away for $23. I did a quick trade/cash deal on top. We're snagging up some more modern stuff. Ins Plan, Full Art, Xerneas from Chaos Rising, and they are picking up the Pikachu promo. I believe that's the Adventure Chest promo, and then the Blastoise EX from 151. So thanks for the deal. It's been a little bit busy. I'll have to record the video game stuff I just picked up, but selling all together, bulk deal, the biggest one, the Reshiram GX Full Art, and going away for not 65, the card number there. Its total is 130 for the deal. All right, it is officially gone, the last of the Ashes Pikachus, and it's going to a customer's collection for 45. So it's odd enough, I'm still securing more video game stuff. I wasn't expecting to pick up any Vita stuff, let alone like loose card. These still do decent enough for the booth, and I mean, there's people that always look for like anything Vita for their system, so we ended up doing around 87 cash. I mean, there's like a decent amount. The main one I'm probably going to keep is the Resistance because I wanted to get that from my collection, but everything else is pretty much going to be gone. Maybe Child of Light, I might keep that one, but other than that, it's like a very decent amount of variety. So this was kind of unexpected because I don't see the Japanese one very often, but they said this was LP, but this is more like closer to near mint. I mean, you could probably debate that might be LP just for like the top part, but there's no whitening and it's not like damaged at all. So I mean, as far as condition wise, I mean, I don't see these very often, but we basically gave them around 135 on it. So I think this is about the quickest that this card is like sold off. So that took maybe about 20 minutes, and it's going to a vendor for 153. Aside from the Blastoise, there's like a good amount of Yukamoris that are going out to a person's personal collection, and it's all together for 78. So this is going to probably tap out cash for right now. We would have picked up way more from him, but unfortunately, they had a half-art Pikachu poncho. I would have gotten it, but there was like a comp that was listed at 1,000. I don't know if that was like the current amount on it for just that one, but it was the one with the Routes poncho, and these were the only other ones. It was around 320 cash value, and he picked up one of the Topps Chrome cards that was like a $10 Squirtle, so I mean that was perfectly fine, and honestly that to us is going to probably, all of these are going to go pretty quick, and somebody I know was looking for that one too earlier. So this is officially going back and forth on it, but the Mew VMAX is going to a vendor's selection for 410. It was going back and forth, but overall it's still good steal for it. So slight adjustment. This we had to document around MP, and I should have like realized that after getting it out of the case, but that was my mistake on that. They're trading in the Gouging Fire EX. I think this is all the way from Scarlet Violet base. It's hard to see because I can't tell from this angle, and they just owed 20 cash on top. All right, so update time. It is like very glary. Okay, there we go. Better camera angle. Hi, everybody. You can see me better now. So this took a minute. One of my neighbors, I won't get them on camera. They were the only one that had Gundam anything available. Sealed product is like non-existent at this show, but if I ever do secure any in, I do tend to buy them just to rep. So this will probably end up being like the most amount of like expensive stuff at the booth. But here's what we got. Yeah, what you are seeing, of course, are two very expensive EX resources. The top three were like basically the Wing Zero LR. I think that's the LR Plus. Yeah, that's the LR Plus with like glare and all. I was not expecting any of these three, especially that, because I know that's like a big chase for a lot of people. But yeah, there's a good amount of stuff. The Hero Yui R Plus is another big one. This one they had gotten rid of the previous week because somebody needed that for their deck. This was about $8, and there was like a bunch of other ones. The Akatsuki, these have gone back up again. I think it's like a top tier build, like one of like top threes. Then this is like a very beautiful, gorgeous like Gaia Gundam LR, or it's like R plus. I'm blanking on that, but the fact that like these were over across from like me over that direction. This ended up totaling around 932. He needed Pokemon stuff, so we basically just did around, I think it was like 650 for physical card trade, and then it was around 282 cash total is what I owed. So I would pretty much say that this is definitely good filler, and honestly, I'm pretty happy about like the deal overall. There was some really good stuff, and I'm still debating if I want to keep that, but at the moment we just need cash. Well, there's a couple of modern singles. Well, this is a little bit older, like Crown Zenith Sword Shield era, but this is equivalent to around 120, and they're busting out a Prime that they're doing on trade on that. So now we actually have something Prime related in again at the booth. Thanks for the trade. That Darkrai Umbreon, the LP that we had picked up earlier, that is officially going. They are adding 65 on top, and they are basically trading us the Galarian Gallery V. Not Galarian Gal, it's Galarian Zapdos V, the Near Mint Gengar EX, and then the Oricorio promo. You know which one is from the UPC, and like I said, 65 on top. Alright, so we're pretty much at the tail end of the show. There's like maybe probably about 20 minutes, so I would kind of just go over like the last main thing. So I forget the guy's name, but he was like over here doing like 85% on some cards. It's like a Zacian, is it Nathan? I forget like the exact name. But the Zacian EX SIR that was from Journey Together, and then there was a Pheasantipity SIR from Shrouded Fable, I think. So that ended up being around 64. That was like for PayPal deal. And then there was 3 cards. It was like some Topps Chrome cards, and then something that was like $2. So it ended up being 11. So we ended up being like a bulk deal for about $10 on that. The total's been over It's like almost 1,100, so that's kind of more than I was expecting for a Sunday. I would probably say today was phenomenal. That Gundam deal, I'm still kind of like surprised of, because that I was not expecting to be able to grab today. But honestly, I cannot complain, and I think that's probably going to be it for the whole entire day for deals.
Can Dan let me keep this spot? I mean, I really don't know what else to say after this whole weekend. And if I like calculate everything together, this is like the best I've done at Dayton. I mean, this is not even close. I haven't even gotten anywhere close to the amounts before, but this was a hell of a show. This, like, floored me, like, how many big trades, like that Gundam trade, it's like the most amount that I've ever done for any Raw stuff, and then it's like, it's incredible. I'm at a loss for words if you can't already tell. And also, I've been sweating. It is like hot right now, and that was the only other downside, is that it's like very warm inside that thing. Yeah. So Dan, if you hear this, let me keep the entrance spot, please. This was phenomenal. But that's it, all the way from Dayton. I'm exhausted after this weekend. This was like phenomenal. Shout out to everybody who's watching. Brightness and all, I do apologize for that, because I don't really, I don't know. I don't have any good shade over here. But that's it, all the way from Dayton, Ohio. Thank you to everybody who showed up. Love ya. And again, I'm out of words right now. It's been a good day, but I gotta make my way back home. Love you all very, very much. Have a good one, and as always, you know how I end these videos and all. Stay strong, stay positive, and most important of all, love you all. Have a good one.